Welcome everyone who may be viewing this at some time. This is my I-495 Informatics Capstone podcast on how to create a website using Adobe Muse. Before we get into this and I start going through this and building somewhat of a website, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's actually it's a lot like I shouldn't say a lot like, but it's similar to other Adobe products. If you're familiar with some other Adobe products, this actually you might be able to pick up pretty quick on this. I've never really used them too often, so this was a little bit of a learning curve for me, but I'm glad I did it. It's really designed for those of us that, I'm not going to say you can't do it, but those of us that like to maybe build websites aren't that good with HTML. There's actually HTML elements in this that you can use, but I found it very useful. And I'm not going to say that it could save you any time, because if you're just starting out using it, there's a lot of things that you're going to have to go through and get used to and learn so you can perfect it and put out a good looking site. But other than that, it's actually a pretty neat thing, although it does cost. I can't remember exactly what the cost of it was, but it is a little expensive, much like any other Adobe product that you might buy. It's actually fairly similar from what I could find to Adobe Fireworks. If you've ever used that, I've found quite a few similarities. So I think that helped me to be able to delve into this a little bit better. So when you're starting out making a website, after you've opened Adobe Muse, this is what's going to come up, and you're going to want to create a new site. So you're going to want to click right here, and you're going to have this new window is going to come up. Well, your initial layout you can either design for a desktop, tablet, or phone. Today I'm going to show what it would look like for a desktop. So basically you want to set what your page width and height are going to be, and we're going to go with 1024 and 768. Here are your margins and padding. As of right now, you really don't need to worry about that. So now once you've entered your page width and page height, click OK, and this is going to bring you to basically what's going to become the web of your site. What you'll do is here, this is home, this is your master page, so then you want to add a new page that's going to be linked off of that. Maybe if you had a page that would link off of, well, you can see that they both link off the master page, or you could do right here, or like so. And as you can see, this is it gives you the web, the diagram, or the flow chart of how everything goes. So let's take a look at our home page here. To do that, you would double click what I just said. You would come back here, double click whichever one you want to go to. So when I was trying to scheme for what I'd like to do for this website, I'm a big Indiana basketball fan, so I thought to myself, hey, why not create a site dedicated, to maybe a blog, information about them. So that's what this is going to be. If you're a fan of any other sports team, I'm sorry, hopefully I don't offend you. But the background of the site is automatically white. That's, a lot of sites you'll find are like that, but to me it's kind of boring, so we're going to go with some sort of a red color. I'm going to go with that one right there. So that's how you, if you would like to change the background color, just go over here to fill, and then click whatever color you want, or you can go over here and create a custom one, but for me that red that they have there is good enough. What you're going to need is some sort of a menu bar or a title. So to add text, what you do is you come over here, double click. I'm sorry, you don't double click. You set it, you click and drag out how long you want it to be. So then you would say, for example, Phillies Indiana site. And if you want to, make that any bigger or whatnot, you can come back up here and click the select tool. drag it out, make it bigger. Text, obviously, I'm going to need to change the text if I want to do that. So to change the text after you've done it, just double click, and then go over here. You've got bold, but before you click that, you want to highlight. You can change the size. So here I'm going to go 24. That's a little bigger than I wanted. We'll do 24 actually. I tell you what, we'll make it bold. And you can change the text if you want here, but I like the text that it gave me. It's fine. We'll resize this again. There we go. We'll stick that right up there. Okay. So you've got that. Now you're going to want a menu bar. Well, for menus, Adobe Muse has a lot of cool things. You can come over here, and this is actually for me just the trial, because I didn't want to spend the money to buy it yet. I don't have anything in the future where I can see myself using it, but I'm assuming it might give you more widgets. But here you can, it's got a menu bar here where you can drag this over if you want to implement it to your site, and then you'll start to build your menu. But I'm going to be, well, I tell you what, let's not be so complicated. Let's just go ahead and do this. Actually, let's not do that. Let's just go ahead and make this. So instead of using your widgets over here, which I'm not going to use quite yet, you can click the rectangle tool. And I'm going to draw out a rectangle here. Oops. And then I'm going to place it where I want it. And the cool thing about Adobe Muse is you can see where, as you're highlighting and moving things, it shows you where your alignment is and whatnot. So for me, I'm going to go right there, and I'm going to copy it and paste it. We have another one. Paste another one. I'm not really sure how many of these I'm going to need just quite yet, but we'll go with it. So we'll place these in order, and you can see it tells you how what the width apart of everything is there. Paste another one there. And we'll just get these nice and matched up there. They're not quite exactly as matched up as I'd like them to be, but they're pretty close. We'll get these equal. So what you're going to want to do here is you're going to want to hyperlink these. So for this one, what we'll do is we will create ourselves a home button like that. So then we'll bring it back here. And we will leave it right like it is right there. We want to center the text first, so what we'll do is we'll highlight it, and we'll center it. And then you can see the alignment here. It's going to be the line right above where the arrow is. It's center with that. So first we're going to want to change the background color if you want to. For me, Indiana's colors are red and white, so I'm going to leave it like so. Then we're going to want to do, for the next one we can do their current schedule. So for that we'll do another text box and schedule. Go back to this, drag this out, make this look a little bit better. And somehow managed to drag it out. Get that back in line there. Okay. So we'll get this right there, find out. So that we have your schedule for the team, and then we could do one for the roster of the players. And then we're going to want to center that. Go back to the select tool. And we're going to put that in the middle there. We're going to do another one. This one can be history of Indiana basketball. So we'll get that centered right there. But before we do that, I'm getting ahead of myself. We will center it. There we go. Now we're going to need another one. And this can strictly just be for pictures of players if you want. Actually, need to center that. It's not really, oops. We don't want that text there. We want pictures, and we'll drag this and bring it back up here. And we're going to center that text. We'll go back to the select tool and move that around a little bit. Okay, so now that we've got that, this widgets library over here next to me has some really cool things. So for example, you can do a slideshow, and as you can see, it displays some of the things you can do, and in order to get to display show, or any widget that you want, you just drag that, bring it over, and that right there, you can see it's in alignment with the page. So you want to scroll down here, get it aligned, right there. So now that you've got your slideshow in here, if you want to edit it, this little blue arrow right there, you click that, and that gives you your options for it. And if you want to add images to it, you just click this file. I've already got some stuff here, so let's see some cool stuff here. There's a cool picture of when Indiana beat Kentucky. So you click through here and we'll add an image. I want Scott May. We'll do Bob Knight. How about that? We'll put a Bob Knight picture. As you can see, the pictures are still in there. And we will. Right here, you can see how many seconds you want for it to last. So you can shuffle it. Either way, you can see that. That's for how you add pictures. I'll leave those up there and leave the other ones that this came with. And right here, you can put captions with the. Oops. You can put captions with the pictures. So for this one, call this Bobby Knight. And for this one, we'll call this buzzer beater. And this text, we can whatever you want to do with it. You can center it or whatnot. I'm going to leave everything centered here. Or you can change the color of the text, but I actually like that. So what you want to do is you've got your home page, your schedule, your roster, your history, and your pictures. And what you want to do to this is you want to link these so that they're clickable whenever you get into your actual website. So to do that, you go over here to links. You click this, and this is your home page. So you want to link that to home. And this one's schedule. So what we need to do here is we need to call this one schedule. So we'll go here, and we're going to add a link to that. So you come back up here and you'll see home schedule. So then we'll come back over here. What's my other one? We'll call this roster. So we want to link the roster page. So we'll go back up here. Roster. And then we need to add, actually, I shouldn't call that roster. I should just call that blank for now because that's not going to come off the home page. So we'll call this one roster. What was the other one that I had here? History. That would be the history. We're going to need another one. We're going to need pictures. Okay. So that needs to be linked to roster. It needs to be linked to history, and this needs to be linked to pictures. So now you want to go into the schedule. So we'll double click that, and it'll bring up your schedule page. So what we want to do here is we're going to want to fill this in the same color again. And what we'll do is we'll go back to home. We will select all this. So there's actually an easier way to get all this stuff onto the other page. We'll copy this, and I'm not exactly for sure how to do that, but we'll bring this back up here like so, and we'll get a text here so everybody knows that this is schedule, and we will center it, and we'll make it nice and big so everybody knows exactly what's going on. And we'll put that here. And I suppose what you could do is, I don't have a copy of their schedule, but you could just go in and make a big text box here and move it around. You should go in and manually enter the schedule if you want to. So we'll just, for now, make one up. Make this bold, make this a little bit bigger. And we'll say versus Kentucky Saturday, December 12th at 12 p.m. So what you can do is, for just the sake of this, I'm going to copy this, paste it, and over here next to this you could have TV and then what channel it's on, so we'll say ESPN, so that you could do something like that. And over here you can still see that these are still clickable because it saves it that way. So roster, we would do roster the same way. Basically you can see that there are multiple levels of difficulty you can get into with this. But like I said, I'm kind of a novice at this. I haven't really learned too much about it. I've learned the basics. And for me, or you could do a really easy blogging site with this, of course. You know, once you've paid to download this, then you're going to have to pay for your domain name, and you're going to have to pay somebody to host it. But once you kind of got what you think going on, you can, you know, well, this again. And like I said earlier, there's a way to uniform all these pages so that they're the same, but I really didn't find how to do that. I'm sure it's really simple if you really want to take the time to become an Adobe Muse expert, so we'll put that in there. Since we want to keep these the same, we will copy this. Except this one, we're going to change the font to get the roster going here. Again, I'll bring this up here like this, and we'll get the remember what you made that. That's 18 bold, so we will bold that 18. So you'll have tab over, give their name, their number, actually after their number, this doesn't really matter, however you want to format it. Senior, and then you can do, if you want to do their weight, I really don't know what their weight is, so for this, like I said, you'll have all this information, whatever information you would want to put. Copy it. Anyway, for that sake, I'm saving time, or if you want go through all that. So we'll go back here and copy that again. We'll go into the history page, open it up, fill it with the same color we had, paste our menu, put it here. Actually, let's move it back. It wasn't really where I wanted it. We'll put it right there. In history, I believe on this one, we're going to want to link somewhere else. So you can link to file. I believe you can link to another website. I believe. At any rate, there's a way, and for the life of me can't remember how to do it right now, but there's a way to link off to another website, or you could link to a file which may be on your computer. So I don't really have a, well, here's what we could do. We can go here, and we can go, I'm just doing this so you can see how to link to a file. So we'll just go to Indiana's ESPN deal, and we'll do a screenshot of that. We'll say it was a file. So if we want to link to a file, well, there we go. ESPN. Sorry about that. Link to a file. We'll go here. Link to file, and that should have saved to my desktop. That should be the screenshot. Yeah. So it's going to link to that screenshot. And pictures, we don't really need to go over that now because it's just going to be like everything else. So once you've created your website, you can either preview it here, and you click preview and it'll load all this up, and you can go through it. You can see here, you can click through this, and then you'll see your pictures show up that you put on there. Home, it'll refresh that. Go to schedule, it'll bring it there. Roster, it'll show you that. History, it should, didn't work there. There it goes. I'll take you to that. Now, let's go back to design here. If you don't want to do that and you want to get the real feel of it and what it would be like in a browser, you can preview specific pages in the browser, but the links become unclickable and you can't go through the site. So for the sake of avoiding that, we'll just do preview site in browser, and it'll pull up whatever your default site is. And as you can see, you have this, and the slideshow will go through, or you can click through it to see all your stuff. Click home, it'll refresh it. It'll bring you to your roster, or your schedule, I should say, your roster. In pictures, we didn't put anything there, and there's no links, so we'll do a back button. Or you can go to history, and that's how it links you to a file. So we're on roster, you click home, takes you back home. Now that we've done that, like I said, there's all sorts of things that you can do with this. Browser fill, you see like the outer edges of it, so what you can do, let's say you want to make it black. Well, then we can preview that page in the browser, and you can see where it will fill that in black. And then once you've done all this, gone through it, and everything is put in exactly how you'd like it, you're going to want to publish it. And I didn't get into publishing because I know it's going to get into fees, and obviously I'm not going to be publishing any sites. And you can put in the name of your site that you want it to be, options, publish a new site, you can make your URL, data center, where you want it to be out of. And whatnot is where you would publish it. If I was ever going to create just a simple, blog on the internet, and I wanted to make it my own, and actually wanted to pay for hosting, domain, and all that good stuff, I would probably use this actually, because if you're not too well versed on your HTML coding, this can really, I think it can save you some time with basic knowledge. If you really want to get good at it, it might take you a little while, but with basic knowledge, you can do a lot with this. I don't know if I would recommend it for future capstones use for any website they might be building, just because some people never mess with Adobe products, and on top of already having to build a website for a client and get all your information and go through that hassle, then you're going to, on top of that, have to learn this. I will say I'm not going to say I prefer it more than Joomla, which we've been using this semester, but they each have their own pros and cons, I suppose. So then you're done with your site and you want to save it, just save site as, normal, whatnot. I'm going to save mine to the desktop, and I'm going to call this podcast site, and it should be saved. And that is a very, very basic look into using Adobe Muse, and I hope you have enjoyed it.